what's happening, man? It's your boy Mo City Menis, and this is Bringing the Heat, where we bring it to the ring from the street. And today we have a phenomenal person sitting here with us, and we honored to be around him. We talking about a world championship coach, somebody who's excelled throughout the amateur world as a coach, Olympic pedigrees, all kind of world champions coming from the cloth of this man. Ain't nobody other than Mr. Willie Moses. How you doing, bro?
Where you at? Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So we in here with somebody is so much esteem as yourself, man, and we can only be thankful, and we appreciate you for your time.
Man. I appreciate you, man.
No, for sure. Man, I've heard different sides of the coin. Are you from Jersey or New York?
New Jersey.
You from Jersey? Yeah. What part of Jersey you from?
Newark.
So you from Newark. So your feet was planted in Newark. Apparently first, right?
Right.
All right. So you got to tell me, how was life in Newark from when you were coming up?
Well, believe it or not, the era I came up, was in the 50s and the 60s.
For sure.
And, it was pretty much nowhere near what it is like today. I mean, you could walk the streets peacefully, People spoke to one another, The community took care of each other and whatnot. Not like today, Now, you got corners, people fighting for corners and territory and whatnot. Nowhere near. We had gangs, though, when I got about the 60s, when the gangs come up. In the 40s and 50s, you had all the mafia gangs and whatnot. But, they were only in our communities with the numbers and whatnot. They weren't even doing the drugs, you know what I'm
Got
saying?
you.
So, life was pretty much, much easier than it is in today's life.
I hear you grew up as a multifaceted athlete. I heard you play baseball.
Yeah, baseball, basketball, football.
Huh, and out of those, what was your favorite?
Baseball.
Baseball, what position you playing baseball?
I played third base, second base, shortstop, catch.
Whenever I ask somebody about you, they say, he played baseball. Everybody always say that, he played baseball, So I'm assuming you were a highly rated baseball player.
Oh yeah, I traveled around the country playing softball, man. Played with some Hall of Fame guys.
Like who would you play with?
Jimmy Prayer.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I had the fortune of my brother who played against Bobby Howe,
Yes, sir.
King in his court and them guys and whatnot, Played a high level fast pitch softball.
Man, that's kind of cool, man, that you was in those different capacities. I'm assuming you said basketball too. I mean, so you was pretty much a well-rounded athlete.
Yeah. I played in the championship in each one of them.
Wow.
Basketball.
Football, wow. Yeah. So coming up in Newark, you basically painted me more of a unified place, and you kind of came up doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, if you weren't occupied with something, you have a tendency to be doing the wrong thing to get in trouble. So most of the common people always try to keep themselves occupied in athletics and whatnot, or something that's competitive, so they didn't have to worry about the streets.
So, I'm assuming, but coming up, you weren't a troublemaker.
No, man, we all had trouble, No, but not that kind of trouble.
Yeah.
I was more like the guy that defended the guys in the street, like that. The guy that just so happened I had to fight all the bullies for some reason, and I did pretty well against the bullies, so
So you coming up in the time, and you haven't mentioned the B word yet. When does boxing come into your life, or when do you walk into boxing?
Well, boxing had always been in my life.
Okay.
Throughout growing up, because the first time experience I had with boxing, we were playing tops, me and my nephew, and Wayne and his brother came down with boxing gloves around there, so they put the boxing gloves on me and my nephew, and that was it. And we were like 4 and 5.
Really?
Yeah.
And y'all was over there trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
When did you formally start getting some type of idea on boxing? Just from that, or did you go?
Well, boxing came into my life when I was in the 4th grade. I had a teacher, and Mr. Harold Brown, and Mr. Brown was a sparring partner for Floyd Patterson and Bob Forster. So
wow.
He would come to school and show us the pictures of them boxing in the gym and whatnot. Pictures with him and Muhammad Ali and all those guys. And, I took to boxing in. At that time, I had already been in the martial arts at 8 years old. So, that just added to my pugilistic, you know.
In that time, I think karate was even a normal part of your upbringing.
Everybody was doing it back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you didn't know karate or didn't know how to fight in our neighborhood, then you wasn't right.
Yeah.
If you can't fight, you ain't right. Let me stop. So that's the way we looked at it, you know. You know, and you know, we had all the schools in the backyards, and we did all that, the boxing and the gloves in the yards, like they do now, the street boxing.
Yeah, y'all was doing that
we doing
type
that
of.
back then, yeah.
That's kind of cool to hear. So you know, just I mean, because there's so many people across the country doing the street boxing thing, and they kind of trying to push it like it's some kind of new thing. But coming from you, hey, that been going on.
Yeah, we call it backyard boxing.
Backyard. Yeah, so there you go. You know, street boxing ain't brand new. It was backyard back then. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. So what made you somehow find your way into the realm of coaching boxing? Did you have some type of amateur career as a boxer? Or you did?
Well, like I said, we were doing the boxing and whatnot all the time. And we got into the kickboxing, became prominent then, and got into kickboxing. We were some of the first ones fighting the 5-rounders back then. You know, in the 70s and whatnot. So that for, you know, one fight, my teacher came and he saw the kickboxing fight as a 5-rounder. And he said he wanted to take me to teach me how to box, you know what I mean? And not all the years he knew me, you know, but he did, and that was it. And I think in 1980, I started as a coach at the Newark PAL.
Okay. As a coach coming in the early 80s, who or what may have been giving you some influence as your direction of coaching?
Well, at the time, you know, I was actually the first, you know, president of what we call the Bilalian Student Union in the nation, you know. And I started a football team called the Bilalian Raiders and all that. So I was really community involved. So now I started getting to the point where I started meeting a lot of kids and a lot of youth and whatnot, and that started me towards it. I started teaching, actually instructing at 14 at the, what was it, what's the name of the place on Clinton Avenue? Anyway, we keep that moving on. And so the Sacred, not the Sacred Hearts or whatever, something, but I started there at 14, and after that, when the time I got 18, is when I started coaching. I started working in a liquor store, and I was coach manager in a liquor store. And I ran into one of my mentors that I met when I was a student at Shabazz, at the president of the Bilalian Student Union. That what happened one day, they called us, you know, said the school was such in an uproar, they called it an animal, but anyway, what it is, they brought Gil Noble in and Like It Is and all them, and we had a little session in, and I met the guy that asked me to come coach at that time. He became one of my mentors because he came in and tried to stop, you know, what was going on in the schools and whatnot. And ever since then, you know, I started in 1980, everything just catapulted because the kids that I caught, we called the Machine, and Hakeem and them, the first year they started boxing, they went to the state championship, you know, against Derek Poppy Rowland and Ricky Mayers, you know, who came through prominent pros. And I think that was it, you know, that really influenced me, you know. Had a first national champion, Lil Johnny Stevens, back then, and these was in 80 and 81, 82, you know what I'm saying? So that really encouraged me, but I got out of boxing. I started working and managing 3 liquor stores and whatnot. And he came into the liquor store and he brought me in, and that was it.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then it took off.
Yeah.
So what's did you envision yourself bringing, because you've made it a family thing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we gonna get there, but you know what I'm saying? I see the direction where you got from generation to generation, from this cousin to this cousin, you starting to get them all panned in to what the function is. Like, is that something you thought of back then?
Well, you know, it's something that pretty much happened, and the realization of what was happening. You said, okay, now we a boxing family, so now we might as well start to pursue boxing business and, you know, moving ourselves in with the nonprofit, helping other kids and getting other kids involved, moving up. Like now we have kids come from way up top, you know, to New Jersey.
Absolutely.
Come down here, we bring them down here, you know, just to give them, see, a new side of life. To see
So
something different.
I've sat down in this same capacity with Vito Milnicki, with Emmanuel Chance, with Zaquin Moses. We've all sat down and done this, and your name is so highly respected and credited to where a lot of these people's origins or they way they look at boxing comes from you, you know, and that's just a few people who I've talked to, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention the numerous people who aren't names that you probably affected. Did you see yourself going in that direction of I'm going to put my hands and guide a lot of these guys to their come up in boxing?
Well, one thing, I didn't see all of those little guys becoming national champions, like, you know, just like I didn't see Shakur happen, becoming a national champion or winning all the things. You know, the things just happened with winning because, you know, I was used to winning. And, you know, not to say winning breeds winning, but, you know, when you give people a winning way of life, or just say a winning aspect, or a winning personality, or just say a
winning formula,
concept, a winning concept.
There you
know,
go.
And that they teach them that success and that winning is really what they're bestowed as part of their life. They're supposed to do that. It's nothing abnormal. You understand?
I gotta ask this because of what you just said. You didn't see Shakur being to that point. What did
Well,
you?
let me say this here. We're not to that point. Let I say accomplishing all the
Got
things
you,
again.
got you.
But I always seen the talent, you know, was there from
For sure.
each phase that we went through, each level we went through, grow. As he went up and he grew, the talent grew. Okay, so you know things got better. You know?
When did you first see the fact that he needed to be in boxing?
Well, let me tell you like this here. Strange story, but
I want to know it. I want to
you know, the same way, you know, I played the baseball, you know, like my brothers and my father brought me up in baseball. I was bringing them up. So before he had boxing gloves, he had a baseball bat, and you know, as he grew from like 2 years old, but mind you, this here at 2 years old, you know, I would come home, I was a baker, machinist and whatnot. My wife would work days, I would work nights, so I'm home in the day, so somebody would always be home with our kids. So I was watching USA, you know, boxing and all that shit. Remember they used to come on every Saturday
NBC,
and Sunday and all that shit. And each day we would watch it. So about 2, he sat up on the bed like this here. One day he was watching it, and he started doing like this here. So, you know, hey, I just keep him doing. So I used to take his arms and, you know, nothing. He used to do that. And next thing you know, as he got older and started wanting to punch, he started punching and whatnot. So as he got older, he and I would be in the house with him. This is while he's like 3, 4 years old. At the same time, I'm buying him little pitcher machine after pitcher machine. You know, he hitting the balls, going faster and faster and faster. So one day, I took the bat, put it here. I took the boxing glove, put here. So I said, I'm gonna let you make your decision. So he got up there, he went over there, picked up the bat, and looked at the glove. He like that. Went over there and picked up the glove. He stuck one hand in, stuck the other hand in, and then he started doing like this. He made the decision.
Choices already made, yeah.
And that was it, man.
Well, around what age did you start to see him becoming something to where you think that a future could happen?
Well, like I said,
Then?
I was 4 when he made that decision. You know, every day, me and him would be in the house, emulating boxing, boom, 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 boom. I'd take him outside in front of my house every day, you know, and do pad work all day, pad work, doing pad work. But I let him do so much pad work, he used to get tired of it. Oh, pop. But he would love the boxing, would never stop shadow boxing.
Yeah.
But he would get tired of that pad work. But anyway, make a long story short, 5 years old, I said, I'm taking him to the gym now. If there's anybody here his age and size, he gonna start sparring him now. And that was it. He didn't go to train. Well, you went to train, but his first time in the gym, he went to find somebody there to spar.
Not to train. He wanted to spar off the
No,
bat.
he was training already. He went there to spar. We want to see how good you are. And, you know, that started the process. It wasn't nothing serious where you had little kids out there sparring. Like
Right.
that. Just to see their potential, man. And as time went on, you know, I was pretty fast myself. He and I would be boxing in the room, boxing in the house, upstairs, downstairs. My wife would be like, y'all stop. And in reality, after we did stop, I wouldn't know Shakur was asleep if I didn't hear him in the room.
Wow.
Boxing. So, you know, then he started getting older. One day, you know, I said, yeah, man, I'm boxing. I said, I'm going to get this little motherfucker now. So I threw a little fast, hard shot. Shot got right here. Before it got right there, he dropped to the floor. I said, ooh, I ain't going to let that shit hit me. I said, God damn, I had his ass lined up. Then when he started getting older, now all this here time, I see the talent and everything coming in. Because, like I said, through the baseball and boxing and coming up, I seen that he had that hand and eye coordination was special. Because he was a T-ball. He was the #1 overall pick.
Gotcha.
He's
Yeah.
pick.
The hand-eye coordination has always been visible.
Yeah, man. His shit was so crazy, man. Well, I seen it one time. You know, we were in camp and they were doing shit like this here. They took us to axe throwing place, man. And the accuracy, this kid, he had never threw an axe in his life, man. The way this kid was throwing, this guy was throwing an axe. I said, damn, man. They were like, man, you've done this before. No, he never did it before, man. So a lot of shit been like that for him, man. Even when I taught him how to play ping pong, he plays now. You know, I taught him how to shoot pool, everything. Man.
When does Willie Moses become a part of USA Boxing?
That was in 2012.
Is that walking in with Shakur, or is that just on you?
Well, USA Boxing, you know, a couple of years ago, you know, they had a big thing, but I was the winningest coach in the
Absolutely.
country.
I got to know how you got in there.
You know, that started and we had what we called the World Tournament, but it's actually started at I wish I had a story I could go show you or something that's here, take you through and show you, but it happened at the Junior Golden Gloves where, you know, like I got a lot of awards, right? Mm-hmm. And these awards that I got at the Junior Golden Glove, I think I really cherish the most, you know what I'm saying? Because what the awards at the Junior Golden Gloves, you pick from your peers, like all the coaches have to vote for a coach, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, you know,
when your peers select you, it's different.
So when they select for 3 years in a row, I think the first year I won it. I think the second year I was runner-up, and the third year I won it again. And knowing appreciation from all the brother coaches, the fellow coaches out there voting for you, man, I think that's the thing that I cherish the most, and that's the thing that. So that tournament, the Cuban coach was there, Coach Pedro. So he saw my team, you know, that's when we had Lil Vito, all those guys.
For sure.
About all those guys a national championship under one. I think at that time we had about 9 national championships and 9 national champions in that one gym. But he had saw, you know, what it done with the team then. So when we got to the world team, and this is then when I got I coached Shakur, I coached Devin and Short Dog. All of them on the world team, and all of them won got on the world team. Anyway, I think he selected me then to be part of Team USA. And they called me in, and everything else was history. That's how Shakur became the winningest fighter, and, you know, almost in USA history right now. Shakur has accomplished things that no other male has accomplished. The only thing that won close to the things that, one that like he won, is Clarissa Shields, who's the greatest boxer in the world, male or female.
Give me the breakdown so people can understand. Why is that?
Well, Shakur, you know, they won what we call the Ivy Boxer of the Year. That goes to the best amateur boxer in the world.
For sure.
And no other fighter from the USA has done it other than Clarissa Shields. And it's really prestige when somebody from America won it for so many years. No American fighter, boxer had got that much or made it that far to win such a prestigious award.
For sure.
So when he did that, you know, that did the thing with actually put him on that highest level. And when amateur boxing, the highest level is what? reach the Olympics,
The Olympics,
or something.
absolutely.
Okay, so
yeah.
now the next one before that is becoming a world champion because there's 195 nations in the world, and the top 60 nations get picked for the world teams. So in terms, you almost have 60 people in every weight class, 600 people, yes, in every weight class. So you got to do that for 2 years. And now what happened was so great for Shakur. Shakur had beaten 5 or 6 previous world champions in his run.
Got you.
And he won all of them by unanimous decision, man, which was phenomenal, man. Never lost a round.
Do you have a memory, or should I say the most standout memory of being out there in any of those runs that you remember?
Mm-hmm. The one was that first one. We were in Ukraine, and the world champion, defending champion, we were fighting him, and it was in Ukraine. And the way Shakur, we was going to the stage, man, Shakur started walking like this. He started walking like this, started spinning. He couldn't wait to get there. Well, we were trying to slow him down. Couldn't wait to get there. And once he done that, it seemed like everybody in the world started in the tournament started trying to walk out like that there. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing that got me. Also, other than that, it was how when he was coming to the ring and they was coming, Ukraine, Ukraine, man, you could almost hear the Raptors shaking and other Ukraine, Ukraine. It was so loud. You know, they defending champion was going at, and they fighting Vladimir Klitschko. The Klitschko was there. Lomachenko. Everybody's there. But that time, I got a chance to, after he Shakur won this fight, I got a chance to go sit up with the Russian Federation president.
Wow.
Up in the Raptors, man.
What's that experience like? I mean, because you up here with some real elite company, man.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. We sitting up in these big soft cushion chairs, man. Damn, I'm like, I ain't never seen it in a arena. I never seen a chair like this, man. I'm sitting up there. And I'm just looking, and we got my interpreter here, and he telling me, how Shakur is a great fighter, and I'm not. I'm just, I'm like that, just looking. I'll tell you, So that was one of the biggest things that really got me, man. Seeing that and that situation, and experiencing that, seeing the Klitschko's up there, and him going down there and competing, and after the Raptors, quieting the whole place down.
Yeah.
After the first round, bum, 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 bum. You couldn't hear nothing, man. It was from it going so loud to so quiet.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
You control the crowd.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing to me, man.
Now, so you guys have had a phenomenal journey. Even right now in the pros and. Even just looking at a few weeks ago what took place, how surprised were you at the difference of Shakur and Teo?
Well, listen, I love Teo. I love his family. His mom have a great mom. His dad is cool. He and I just talked yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And, watching Teo for so many years and actually, not seeing, him change a lot or making different things, go through something. The game plan we had for him, for what he does was, if he couldn't make adjustments during the fight, it was going to be an easy night for him. I mean, a hard night for him and an easy night for us because we didn't know that he was just going to go to everything we planned, We seen it, he was, it would be there, especially the way he held his hands down, the way he walked straight in, the way he think nobody hit. And I think, once he said Shakur is slow, I think, that really took the barrel towards us for our game plan, you know what I mean? To hit him with that jab, he think it's slow, he think he's gonna slip it, so to constantly hit him with it. So if he threw a punch at us and we made him miss, it was to hit him with that jab again, hit him with that jab, and come off that jab. So all that stuff worked. Even the jab, we jab him, and he like to come up. He comes in with his head down. We know if this here miss, when he come in, we know the hook was going to be there.
It's going to be there. Yeah.
It's going to be there. You can't look at the way he fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, we figured if such an easy game plan worked so easily and he didn't make any adjustments, he said it was going to be an easy fight.
Coach, was that the biggest win of y'all's pro career? Was that the biggest win of y'all pro career?
Well, no. Well, you may say it is because of what was at stake, you know, the two ring belts and being
WBO
two-time
and all that
champions.
stuff.
Yeah, you know. That was the biggest, biggest pay, by far, you know. But in terms of competition-wise and skill-wise, no, you know. I think, you know, Zapata.
I enjoyed that one.
Zapata, see, a lot of people don't realize it. This is why a lot of people won't fight him, but Zapata can box. He got good defense. I seen all this here, and he got a good jab, you know what I mean? It's paramount that we handled his jab when we fought against him because his jab is what actually makes him go. He feeds off that jab, and his little shoulder push. He push you back to the ropes, and he's good at that. You know what I mean?
I gotta ask you a different question because this is something that I ask a lot of people questions what they thought about you, and they all say he's so competitive. Where do you get the competitive nature from? Because apparently it's being passed down. Where do you get being competitive from?
My mother and father.
Yeah.
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 Especially my mother. I remember one time, man, my mother, when he came in my house, right, my sister lived upstairs, right? I might say I was fortunate. My father and mother, you know, they owned a 3-family house, you know. I came up with a mother and father, grew up with a mother and father, and you know, they had property and whatnot, you know. It wasn't bad for me. Like I said, I'm the only one of my brothers and sisters didn't go to college and graduate. But I went to technical school and graduated. Just so fortunately, it was one of the most prestigious ones in the country. I was able to work and make a good living, you know what I'm saying? So through them, one time, you know, my mother, you know, had went and paid my sister's electric bill upstairs, right? And, you know, some guys came there to shut my sister, shut her stuff up. You know, my mother lived there, we lived on the first floor. My sister lived on the first floor. We had a tenant on the third. They had a tenant. We had a tenant on the third floor. So they cut us shit off. So my mother came in there and said, "What? They ain't getting out here with it. They cut what? They ain't getting out here with cutting." She came and gave me a rolling pin, gave me a knife, and she went out there with her knife and said, "Y'all ain't getting out here without cutting my knife. I paid my bill and so here's money. You ain't getting out here. You gonna keep this shit on." So I'm saying, damn, my mother like that shit. She a risk, man. She ain't right, man. She knows she right. She willing to have anything for being right, you know. So, you know, she ain't care.
Yeah.
You know, my mother's the type like this here. I said, "Mom, that ain't the truth. That's a lie." What? Pow! Ooh, you know, I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? My mom is like that, and she one of the most loving person in the world. They call her the doll, you know. And that competitive that she got, you know, it's just like, hey, don't none of y'all, not one of y'all better not come home beat up. If all of y'all there,
everybody better come home beat up. Yeah,
right. So we go up like that, you know.
Let me ask you about somebody else who I think you passed the same thing down to. What do you think of the trajectory or the direction that Zaquin is headed in, man?
Oh, Zaquin is doing well. I think, you know, with the way his maturization is taking place right now, you know, particularly with this last camp that he had a great camp. He had some phenomenal boxers in there that he boxed against, you know, help him prepare for the fight. And the way what he did with them, you know, it made me go, whoa, this kid is here. So yeah, he's special too, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's really special, man. He's one of them, like, you know, him, Lil Chance and all.
Yes, sir.
They were little, you know. Zaquin was ahead of all of them, you know what I mean? Zaquin had took off for a while. He moved for the Virginia for a while. That's why his amateur career wasn't as
extensive,
right, as the rest of those kids is. But Zaquin was better than all of them at an early age, man.
Wow.
Matter of fact, they wouldn't let them box Zaquin at an early age because Zaquin grew with me all his life too. He was just like Shakur, all right there in my house, right there with me, you know, everything like that. So, you know, he's phenomenal, man. And the way his body is growing and his power, and, you know, we had a hard time, you know, through the camp, man, keeping sparring partners for him, man. You know what I mean? He had to spar the adventures, the elite guys, the elite guys, and they didn't do, they wouldn't do too long with him anyway, man. You know, he's up and coming. You see, he's big in stature, he's long, you know, and he's only going to get better, you know. And you know, the thing about he and Shakur is, I have to slow them down from training. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I have to literally put the brakes on. No, you got to rest because, you know, as much as you taught them, you know, I told them that recovery is the most important part of person. What they think is working and staying prepared is the most important training. So, you know, it take, you know, somebody to slow them down, you know, which a lot of the athletes have a lot of problems with overtraining and training too much and not recovering enough. And, you know, I just want to make sure that he gives himself the best chance. So that's where he's at right now. And I think his progress is really moving forward. I think he's in a good situation being surrounded by all the good fighters that's in there, because they always say, you heard this before, they say, yo, if your circle doesn't raise your level, you're not in a circle.
In the wrong circle.
You're in a box.
Right.
Okay? So in that box, you're not going nowhere.
Right.
So by him being in that circle and raising his level up with the competition, looking to be better, not looking to be good, not looking to be satisfied, looking to be better than all of them. I tell each one of them, I ask each one of them, man, how you feel? Each one of them got to tell me they feel like a champ. This is what you're doing it for. This is who you are. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can enable yourself to perform like that. Not just physically, particularly in mindset.
You down here in what place that I'm from. I'm mega proud to be a Houstonian, man. Tell me about Houston, man. How's your experience out here being in Houston?
Man,
because you're an up north guy. You know, I'm a southern dude. I've been down here. I know what it is. But what's your take on Houston?
I'm gonna tell you like this here. All y'all up top, if you don't know, you're gonna know now. Yo, you better get down here in a place like this here, where the living is much better. You get more for your money. And the people are much more pleasant. That's real deal.
That's a real. I'm gonna take that for Houston and say thank you. But you know what I'm saying? That, you know, a lot of people move out here and you don't get a chance to ask. But I just wanted to know what you thought. Man, they don't go nowhere.
Don't want to go back home.
They don't go nowhere. I mean, I think I've seen everybody out here. At some point in time, they got somewhere out here and they stayed and kept it. Yeah. I remember I was at the park as a kid shooting basketball. I was killing Neil up there just shooting basketball. I'm like, what is he doing up here? He live out here. Everybody live out here.
But, man, crazy, man.
The food out here is pretty deep too, man.
It's so nice out here, man. I wish I had moved out here 7 years ago.
Oh, man. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Going forward, man, I know you got your grandsons making their pushes. Is there any young guys that you guys are working with that got anything going? I know you got somebody preparing for some Golden Gloves coming up, man. Talk to me about him.
Yeah. A kid, Khalid Smith. Yeah, he's coming back. He's getting ready. I think he's going to be an up and coming fighter. You know, he spent a few months with us now, and he came to the camp. But school was out, so he couldn't stay there long. But I think he's going to be a rising star, okay? I got a girl, Jadeja. She's on Team USA. She's another rising star. She's won about 8, 9, 10 nationals in a row.
Wow.
Okay, and I have a little young lady named Lil Gabby Iron Ramos. She's really special, you know what I'm saying? Not saying Jasia and the other ones aren't, but Gabby is a real eye-getter. You know, you see her, you love her dedication, you love the way she performs, you love her attitude, everything that it takes for a young lady who's only 11 years old. Okay, I got my 3 grandsons. I got Shakir coming up. Okay, I got DJ coming up. I got Takai coming up. He's already a national champion, undefeated. And I got Lil Do Baby, another phenom coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing those my grandsons coming up, as well as the other athletes who we just talked about. and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next few years.
That's amazing to hear that you still very much so connected from the top all the way to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? To the younger, to the more established ones. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. That's you putting your concrete imprint all over the game and literally from Jersey to Houston. That's
Well, they say many hands make light work, you know, and you know more than I think that you know our youth can realize that they can accomplish anything, that it's up to them. All they need is the desire, not just hard work, not just strength, not just repetitious or whatever. They need that desire and them to never fail and to realize failure is never an option.
failure is never an option. Man, I just want to make sure from bringing the heat, we tell you we appreciate you for even sitting down with us, man. You somebody who lead the culture of coaches. You know, a lot of people know who you are from across the globe. You know, I mean, you've made an imprint as amateur all the way through the pros, and the journey that you on is still ongoing, and it's still amazing, and we all tuned in. And from my heart, and we respect it, and we love seeing it.
Thank you, man.
Willie Moses, bringing the heat. We out.
Yes, here's Coach Moses. You're tuning in now to Bringing in the Heat, the #1 show on the planet.